Investigating auto insurance fraud, how to detect staged accidents, how to avoid them, and what to do if you do become a victim.
Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan spoke with an expert who calls Southern California the fraud insurance capital of the state.
It was dashcam video that went viral on TikTok, a driver stopping, then intentionally backing his car into the victim's car, causing $8,000 in damage. It's a suspected case of insurance fraud, something that happens more often than people might think, especially here in Southern California. Every single crash you're seeing in these videos, intentionally perpetrated by criminals looking to defraud insurance companies.
I would describe, Southern California as probably the fraud capital of California.
Captain Eric Hood works at the Inland Empire Division of the California Department of Insurance. He says the state gets more than 20,000 reports of fraud every year.
It's definitely a bigger problem than people think. You can't have people crashing on the freeway or the roadway in, 3-4 ton vehicles, because, potentially someone will die.
In fact, people have. One of the more prominent staged crashes happened on the 710 freeway in 1997.
There was a stage collision ring working in the LA area. They basically, set up a stage collision. A family, a father, mother, and a daughter were killed in a collision.
It was that case that spurred Assembly Bill 1050 in 1999, which formed this office. Hood says these kinds of cases where the fraudsters intentionally cause a crash happen every day.
The ultimate goal with being in the collision is to, get the medical benefits on the insurance policy, because that's very lucrative for an attorney and the people involved in the collision.
Hood says often the ringleader of these kinds of schemes will recruit random people to ride in the car to try to up the potential payout. But the fraud doesn't stop there.
So a very common scheme with chiropractic and medical treatment, the patient comes in maybe 1 time, 2 times, but then they'll sign in 30 times, when in actuality they didn't. But that allows the attorney then to negotiate a higher settlement for that insurance claim. I would say more recently, the last couple of years, we're seeing mostly sudden stops, but there is that swoop and squat. There's also a drive down, which is more for like city streets, and it's where they kind of block the traffic.
For example, check out this video from 2015. One suspect vehicle blocking part of the road. Watch as the victim then pulls out of the driveway, and that suspect vehicle moving in to block them. That's when a second vehicle comes in and causes a crash. Unless there's a witness to what happened, the victim in this case would likely be ruled at fault. One of the more egregious cases involves someone from Yucaipa who actually posted a lot of these videos on his own YouTube channel.
This was just his MO. He liked to go out and film himself doing road rage and getting in collisions. He liked to carry a large machete in his car. And he would, in some of these road rage incidents, he would go out and threaten the people with the machete.
Hood says over a 2 to 3 year period, this guy filed 23 separate claims for more than $100,000. While he only ended up serving 1.5 years in state prison, Hood hopes his days of doing this kind of thing are over.
Part of his plea agreement was to give up his licenses forever. So he is, at least in California, he can no longer have a driver's license.
But some of these cases don't involve innocent people at all. 2 years ago at this intersection in Ontario, Hood says multiple suspects colluded together to intentionally crash 2 cars into one another. But unfortunately for them, it was all caught on camera.
A female is going to show up, and you're not going to see it on that video, but a female shows up and claims she was involved in a hit and run. She was very confused on what vehicle she was supposed to be driving to the police.
Which is a red flag.
A red flag, and ultimately it ended up being, there was 5 suspects who colluded basically to, file false insurance claims, and as you saw, they crashed 2 vehicles thinking they could get away with it.
How hard is your job?
It's very hard, and it's, we're kind of hamstrung by the amount of resources we have.
He says of the 163 sworn positions this office has, they're actually down by 30%.
We just can't get to all of them because we just don't have the resources.
Hood also says when investigating one case, they quite often come across even more fraud. Years ago, he says 2 suspects took their vehicles up Azusa Canyon and recorded this video of them intentionally crashing them into each other to get the insurance payouts for both vehicles.
Yeah, you're probably talking 30,000 plus potentially totaled.
But when they served search warrants on their phones, they discovered something else.
That case involved basically a CHP employee that was selling traffic collision reports illegally under the table for cash to someone who owned a body shop.
Those incident reports had the personal information about people involved in crashes, as well as the names of their insurance companies. And with that information in the wrong hands, let the fraud begin.
That CHP employee would then sell those reports to this guy. In turn, he had an employee who worked for him who would call these people pretending to be from an insurance company, and he would use the information on the police report saying like, you know, I'm from AAA, I'm from whatever the insurance company may be, and you know, we're going to take your vehicle to an approved body shop, and they would hold it hostage for storage fees. And, you know, upwards of $6,000 to $7,000 in storage fees typically.
So what can you do if you think you're involved in an intentional crash?
Dash cams are instrumental in just documenting what occurred. They don't always capture everything, right? Because most people buy the front-facing dash cam. And if you can, I would buy a front and rear-facing dash cam, just because it captures a lot more information.
Hood also says fraud rings typically don't want to involve the police or CHP. They'd rather just exchange information and leave.
If you're in a traffic collision, I mean, call the police, especially on the highway. The California Highway Patrol will take a report. If you suspect just something's, you know, out of place, let the officer know.
Okay, that's it.
Rob McMillan, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC 7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our YouTube channel and download the ABC 7 Los Angeles streaming app on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku to watch on your TV.